I wake up this morning and I'm trying to make a video because I'm just so sick. My internet's not working. It's not on for some reason. I can't even get into record from my camera. My camera's not showing up at the top. These complications. So I made these videos here, but they're so long I can't edit them because I just feel so sick. So I'm just going to talk. Because I can be a little bit faster about talking about my problems, and then kind of disclosure first. Things will be probably talked about or graphic. It's medical, more of the medical kind of thing. This is a cry of help because I'm not getting any help and I'm feeling very, very sick, and it's getting worse and worse. And I am asking for anything that can be done, literally, because I don't even know what to do anymore. Almost 6 years ago, I had my gallbladder removed. I had gallbladder problems, and I almost ended up dying if I didn't have my gallbladder removed. I got my gallbladder removed, and I felt very good the first night. About a week later, I start to notice that I started to go downhill, started to have problems. I didn't understand what was going on. Fast forward, and during this entire time to almost 6 years, my fecal matter was very yellow. Almost all the time. I have over 600 pictures, video footage and stuff in my camera. Everything I'm saying is based off of what has been happening to me or how I've been feeling at the same time. So things I'm going to bring up. I'm going faster because I do not feel good even sitting down right now. I have fluid that comes from a source in my stomach, down to my legs, and it goes anywhere based on gravity. When I lay down, when I do something. In the last 4 months, I start to notice the fluid. I went to this ER in town 3 times, trying to convince them and tell them that this is for real, that I'm feeling this, and they're just saying no, that can't happen to somebody. They would just do a blood test, a pee test, and that's pretty much it. They wouldn't do any scans or anything. So I ended up going to a hospital out of town, and they did a CAT scan. I kept asking the person there, I was seeing the doctor, I guess, can you see it in the CAT scan? And he said yes. And I said, well, how am I supposed to deal with this? How am I supposed to lean over and sleep because it's getting so bad? And he would just say, sleep on your left side and blah, 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 right? And then when I'm in these hospitals, they just say that they can't do anything. They just refer you to a gastro, and I am severely, I'm telling you, severely exhausted. Severely. I can't do much of anything. And so trying to make this video really short to kind of show that it's basically a cry for help, that I need help bad. In any way that I can either get my point across, show some doctor, show something to, I'm not trying to make this viral or anything. I'm just not doing well, and it's getting worse, much worse. Right now, while I can at least, I've been going in and out with concentration problems because I have what feels like fluid buildup that happens down inside the gut. I marked a spot right here. That's where my gallbladder probably used to be. I marked it with an X last night, trying to make a video while laying down, and the sounds you can hear literally are just sounds like water and stuff, like fluid moving, I guess. But I will show this video later. I just cannot edit and do any of these things right now. If you were in my body, you could understand it's very complicated to do anything. I've got fluid that comes from areas based on gravity, and they go back to that source. and it drains. It literally sounds and feels like it drains back into my body. I get extremely hungry all of a sudden, and I just feel extremely fatigued, extremely sick, and blood test and pee test are not showing that I have a severe infection, so they aren't going to do anything. They aren't going to order any other kind of scans or anything, and I'm going to see my PA today to try and do something. I don't know what else to do. The only thing I can think of that's going on with me is a bile leak. The reason I'm saying that is because I can't think of anything else that would do what's going on. Laying down, I feel fluid literally come from these places in my body, come from my shoulder, my arms. I have to lay down to make them move. Lay down like this, and I've drawn basically a line from places that I can feel this thing. And I know this sounds crazy, but I'm telling you how I feel, at least. This is what's happening to me. So I'll take off my shirt. And I just lay down, and where this line comes down through my chest and through my arms, I literally have drawn a line that it will feel like fluid comes down to the source. This X right here. It doesn't look very good because it's a water race, but literally comes down into, and from the leg, just to show my leg here, I just did a fast line to show that fluid will come down and it basically come to the source again, laying like this. And this is how I was laying last night. I lay like this because I don't feel good, and I feel this fluid literally coming back to here. And what's happening, I don't understand. I don't know. But all I can say is that over the last 4 months, I've noticed a substantial amount of fluid getting in here. I didn't notice that it was going into other areas of my body. It goes anywhere there's skin. Literally, I'm not joking. It can go anywhere there is skin. And I have a lot of loose skin. When I lean over, you can kind of tell there's a lot of loose skin in here. I have to catch my breath because I really feel very sick. I don't know what to do. I'm trying anything and everything I can think of, but I can't do much of anything else with it. Other symptoms are my right eye gets really red. I have a lot of veins that show in my eyes. I can't really eat sugar. And I know people are going to say, but you're fat. How are you doing that? I don't care what people are thinking or anything like that. I'm just telling you what happens to my body, how I feel. If I have sugar, what ends up happening is I have what feels like an infection within a couple hours later. My right eye will go really red, and I will feel extremely sick. And then it feels like my body builds up mucus, and then I have to expel that mucus, and it doesn't always come out. It just kind of settles in the body from time to time, and that's what's been going on lately. And then like I said, 4 months ago, I started noticing fluid building up in the stomach particularly, and the fluid would fall down into other regions of the body, and I would panic and go to the ER and tell them, this is for real, there's something very wrong. And the pain, the burning sensation, it would feel like I'm being sunburned. And they would just think it's gastric acids that can come up. But I am saying it's getting everywhere. And I am screaming that, and I am pointing and showing, and they are just looking at me like I'm crazy, like I'm making this up. I've been sick for almost 6 years. I have lots of tests. I have a huge book downstairs of taking lots and lots of tests and trying to figure out what is wrong. But over the last 4 months, this fluid thing has been getting worse and more out of control. And it's getting to the point where I have to lay down so often. I'm laying down almost the entire day. I am not kidding you. I'm fighting in and out of sometimes consciousness, trying to not pass out. And I don't know what else to do, because I can scream as loud as I want that there's a problem. But when I go to a hospital, they're just going to say, because you don't show these types of symptoms for what's going on, we can't do anything for you. We don't do that stuff here at the ER. So instead, you have to go outsource that. And this takes too dang long. It takes me a very long time to do these things. And I feel like I'm not going to make it. I've been saying this for a long time, to doctors, to my PA, to... I get moved around a lot from a doctor to a doctor, and it's just basically nobody knows what's going on, and it's getting worse. It's manifesting. And I honestly believe that it would make sense if there is a bile leak or some kind of leak in the gut that is passing fluid down into the skin. It would make a lot of sense for me. It would make sense why sometimes when I put my hand over my body like this and I fall asleep like that, I feel better. It would make sense when I'm walking, I feel this fluid now in my legs, but before I did not know what that was. I would go lay down and I would feel like better as soon as I stood up, like I could walk around, but I didn't know why. And I'd have to go lay down again. And it was very much every single day I've been doing this, just laying down, trying to figure out what to do, and I'm telling you, it's getting where I can't even concentrate while laying down. So I'm sure some people are going to say, just go to the ER again, convince them it's not working. I went to that hospital 3 times, my town hospital. I went out of town to another hospital. That's not working. So I don't know what to suggest or do, but I do know that I feel in my body fluid moving, and by gravity getting into other parts of my body that it should not be getting into. It is only at the beginning, like I said, 4 months ago, been building up fluid. I thought it was mostly mucus or something. I would go to the hospital and say, something's very wrong. Please help me. I don't understand what's going on. And then I noticed about 3 weeks ago to a month that it started getting into everywhere. It's starting to get into other parts of my body, moving like fluid, like water. And I can't continue. What I mean by that is I feel like I'm going to be stuck in bed again, and I will not be able to. So before I had my gallbladder removed, I was getting very, very, very sick. I literally would have died if I didn't have my gallbladder removed. The day before the surgery, I woke up and I was getting where I only have 2 to 4 hours of awake time. I could only stay awake for 2 to 4 hours. And then I would basically pass out, like either on the bed, on the floor. And then I woke up one day, which was the day before my surgery. I woke up and I couldn't move after 8 hours of sleep. I woke up and I felt like I was drugged to death. Like literally, it was so crazy. I don't do any drugs. I don't do any drinking. I don't do any of that stuff. I try to be healthy. And I felt like I was going to die. And my whole face was white. I went to the hospital and they, after all the scans and everything they do, this is another problem for me, is that my body seems to try its best to fight off whatever's going on. And I didn't show any symptoms, any problems of infection or anything until they actually got in there and cut in, and then realized that I had a chronically sick gallbladder. And I can tell you that night that I had my gallbladder removed, I was able to stay up for 26 hours. It was instantly like I was Superman. Like all of my energy that was drained was immediately switched back on. And this is what's happening to me, is that I'm draining again, and I do not want to wake up again where I can't get to the hospital And I am literally getting to the point where I'm saying, this is for real. This is how I feel. If it's not fluid, if it's gas, if it's something else, then why does it feel like fluid? Why does it go with gravity? Why is it making me very sick? Why is it coming from where I had my gallbladder removed? I can feel this stuff moving back to that source when I lay down and I let gravity fall. If I lay a certain way, this stuff is getting into other sections. That's how I feel. And this is a cry for help because I don't know what else to do. I can't convince a doctor, it seems, that this is for real. And I don't want I don't want money or anything. I just want help. I want to get away from this. I want my body back, control, and to lift weights and go back to do work. I can't do this anymore. I know if this continues for much longer, I will end up dying. I know that. I know my body well enough to know that this is spiraling downwards, and it's not because I'm going crazy or anything. It's because of how my body feels. It's feeling really terrible. So any kind of suggestions, anything that could get me somewhere to get some help. And I don't even care if you take this video, show it to somebody. I have a bunch of scans that I can give, whatever. I am not feeling well. And I am openly saying this. I did not want to make a public video about this for a long time because I didn't want people to know. You don't sometimes want people to know your medical problems, but this is getting to a point where I know I'm not going to be alive. That's what I'm stating. And I don't know what's going to happen to me other than it's getting really bad. Thank you. God bless. And anything else, I'm just not feeling well.